fucked up by a dragon.
I mean,
Um,
we killed it.
Yes. And then something bigger came and ate the remains of that dragon. So we got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Also, a Chaos Warrior was stunned for all of the fight apart from one round.
Despite
Yeah.
all odds,
Mhm.
the group was venturing further into the swamp after the fight with the Green Dragon. And as they ventured further, they found out that the Black Dragon they were seeking was actually an adult version of a dragon. An adult Shadowfell Black Dragon. A mighty and dangerous odd they faced. Assisted by a bunch of lizard men that were also hostile to us. And as the group approaches, they spread out over the bridges that were spanning from one little island to the next in the swamp. And so, first focusing the lizard folk to get rid of the Eds. In the battle itself, the dragon was fighting mighty and high, and a few times the group had to face the dragon's breath, a necrotic energy that almost killed people in the party, but the party was able to regain and standing, trying to heal the grievous of all wounds and try fighting on. It went way better than the battle against the little green one, because even so the dragon was able to strike down two of the group members. The party had learned more and prepared for this happening by Namara using her Book of Shadows and the names that were scribbled in to the book to prevent that Artia would be struck down and die, and the power within the cleric Torren, his dragon's power prevent him from falling down and being on death's door as well, at least once. And
Okay.
even so, the
No,
group was on its last breath with all spells expended. The dragon fall at the end. And here we are now.
okay. So I'm gonna give an inspiration point to Nakara. And do that because you try, you have 5 temporary HP for this session.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
You're all back at the campfire, waking up slowly. As the morning rise, the sun hit you a little bit, warming up, and thinking of the humidity of the evening on you. The fire cripple slowly, not fully consumed, but you can still see the embers of it. And you can RP to talk about what will you do today.
I see people waking up. Stop laying dead corpses on the ground, I see.
Never sleep in this place. Don't need to.
Me neither.
I know I'm getting fed up of being in this area. Usually moved on by now.
Well, I would agree to you, but not all of us have the undead endurance we share.
Not even that. I'm just bored of the surroundings already.
Well, we should be done soon with this area when we know the direction of the Ogre clan.
This should be interesting.
How far is it from here, actually, to the witch?
Hmm.
Wasn't it about 2 days travel?
I would hope not, but if it is, then it is. It seems wandering this swamp for nearly a week now.
You should have seen the desert. You can walk them mile by mile for days and don't see anything but sand. Well,
Just looks around at the others. Lazy fuckers.
actually, I will take the chance and eat a little breakfast. Taking a day ration.
Okay.
Well, also, it's always kinda killing a dragon. Most of the times only produces more problems than it solves. Because where mighty beast fell, other beasts will rise. Necromancers, even people like us that seek for power. When they hear of the dragon's fall, they will search for their remains and the treasure he might kept. So this vacuum that we created will be soon filled in a few days again, or maybe a week. If latest in a month. But until then, the swamp might be a little bit in a commotion until everything's settled again. Could to be our benefit for venturing further.
I can agree to that.
So then, we should start walking again.
If you can wake the others up, that will be fun.
I start to wake up the people.
Is fast asleep, even when you're pouring at it.
Archeon just gonna grab you and throw you on his shoulder as he start walking. He's wearing you like a scarf, like last time. Alright.
Well, you know that your transformation form only holds for a certain amount of time. I guess it was druid level divided by 3 in hours.
Alright. You all walk directly back at the witch house?
Yeah. How many days travel were that?
It's been 2, because the first day you walk it, you attack the wrong shadow dragon. After that, you walk another day to find the other shadow dragon.
Okay.
So after 2 days of walk directly in the swamp, I will roll for any encounter. Let's see. Nothing. Okay. So after 2 days of walk directly in the swamp, traveling, living through all the flies, animals, and creepy crawler around you, you manage by bits to reach back at the Hag House, the wing that You have accomplished your task, though Alrina, it is quite tiresome to travel with that gigantic art of yours of the Shadow Dragon you have.
Finally,
So,
here we are.
yeah, everybody can pop here.
Well, so we meet again.
So, did you bring me back what I asked for?
I step a little to the side and point to our arena. See for yourself.
You're gonna see her, like, she smiled a bit, but also she's gonna click her tongue, like, of frustration because she was hoping for something else, and not you guys to come back, actually.
I smile at her. Well, then, as our agreement. You wanted the heart. Here it is. Now have it.
Yes, you can put it directly in my house, dear. Uh-huh. Ah. So, what was you wanted again?
We're seeking a way through the swamp to find the ogre clan.
Yes. The Ogre Kingdom. Ah, you will need this map. She's gonna hand you a piece of paper made out of dry flesh.
Oh. I look at the map. I see.
By using this tree hollow, you can find a subpart of the Underdark and manage to crawl under the swamp until you reach the mountain where the ogre lives.
Thank you very much. That will come in handy. And being out of the swamp for a little bit is welcoming. Even it's the Underdark.
I do not guarantee your safety, though. Ogres do use this pathway, but other creatures can find it too. So I would say be careful on your journey, dear, unless someone else here wish to know something.
Well, no way in this world is safe, so this way is the best option we have. Thank you very much. And as well, a fair warning. Maybe you know it or maybe you know it not. But the fall of a mighty beast can attract other mighty beasts. Maybe some that are way more dangerous than the others. With this, I turn around and walk back to the group. So, we have a way. Let's find this entrance to the Underdark.
Mm-hmm. Lead away.
I look on the map in which direction we have to travel for this.
It is not that far of this house. You can find the tree hollow, though it is directly in the middle of water, in the middle of a lake.
Didn't know that ogres are so eager to swim.
It is more like an emergency exit than
Official entrance, okay.
yes.
Seems we have to swim again.
And if they swim, they're gonna swim in swamp water, not clear lake water, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. So then,
we just take that boat?
I mean, we could just take it.
You try to take my boat? That'd be another price to pay.
I don't need a boat, but if you want,
Wandering it is then.
Dump. I look into the water. Is the water still, or is it a little bit of movement?
There's always a little bit of movement in the water.
Fair point. Worms. Worms. The worms ignore me. I go into the water. And look for the entrance. So, where do we plop out?
Directly in the water here.
The entrance to the Underdark, once again. So, I'll look at the map again. Do we have to
Yeah.
enter this building there?
Give me a second, I got to pull some stuff up and bring back Archeon to you.
Yes.
So demanding, the car. So demanding.
I'm sorry.
There you go. As you walk all in the water directly in the long distance to follow where the tree hollow would be, you reach this strange structure on the top of the tree hollow. Though the water gets deeper and deeper at some point, most of you would directly walk with the water reaching down directly under their armpits. As for example, for Archeon or Alrina, it's directly like half of their belly. Unless Lucy, you still like being aware as a scarf on him.
I am still a scarf.
Oop. There you go.
Minor inconveniences.
So what was the question, Nikara?
Is there a point of entrance where we can step onto it, or how far is it in the air?
You would need to climb a little bit the route where I'm pinging of the tree and jump on the deck. After that, you can literally go up.
Okay. Well then, let's move before whatever is down here finds us first. When I walk out of the water, I use prestidigitation on myself to dry my clothes off and make it clean again. And then use my spider climb to just walk up the tree.
You can try. I would say because it's kind of climbing for you, it's an athletic check. It's like a child who try, fail, try, fail, try, fail.
Fine. Come on then, just pick them up and just climb up.
There you go.
I look down on this little bit broken structure and let's say I'm walking carefully to not let it crumble.
Yeah, Archeon is gonna wait everybody pass before trying to walk on it. From there, you can see lights of candle and fire illuminating the inside of the house.
I wait up until everyone more or less approached before I open it. So, with that, I go to the door and look if it's unlocked.
It is unlocked. The only thing holding the door right now is a human bone.
I put off the human bone and walk in.
Go back once.
Okay. One more?
Some people don't move.
Okay, okay.
Some people are hurrying up. Let me roll something. Okay, she didn't saw you, but you can clearly saw something of nature. Literally, it's a giant spider body under it, and on top, it would be something that would look like Helvin holding a bow, but right now is busy at the table eating something. On the side here, you can clearly see a little trap who goes directly in the bottom of the tree.
I look over to the spider thing. Look then back to the group. Put my finger in front of my mouth. And then move over here.
So you're all taking the trapdoor down the hollow tree in the Underdark without talking to the spider? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't wanna.
I would, but
No, it's fine. I'm not saying that to change your mind. I'm just asking if that's really what you guys doing.
you have played my games on us already.
I always play mind games. You know that.
Let's say that I don't have an urgent need to talk to her because my goal is a different one. And if I can prevent a fight, then why should I fight?
True.
As deep down you all murder hobos.
Actually, I try not to be one.
So, as you all go down in the Underdark, you can feel the moisture of the swamp and a little bit of gutlets, drops of water time to time from the sun's hitting you. But though, it is quite a sturdy pathway to go through. You walk through that pathway, straight line, since there's only one way to go. You can see multiple bones of different creature right and left. But for a good 6 days of walk in that tunnel, who is actually speed running you, and you have no difficult terrain since it is a flat road, you will manage to reach the Ogre Kingdom.
Yes.
Donut, can you play the music I just set you?
Yeah, the bot's being a pain in the ass. It's not responding at all.
Do I need to find another?
Oh, no. Oh, it's actually starting to listen now.
Worst case, I have another link, maybe?
It's not so much the link, it's just the bot itself is just not wanting to respond. internal server error.
While you're filling with the music, but I go quick toilet run.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the bot's down. Yeah, it is. It's having an issue.
Voice in our ears, but the more we raise the sound of its call. We'll thunder and feast on any man, any beast, doesn't matter. We'll snack on them all. The stragglers we did consume are dropped in our sacrifice too. They scream and they run, but that's part of the fun as the ogres are coming to get ya.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Raise the sound of its call. We'll thunder and feast on any man, any beast, doesn't matter. We'll snack on them all.
So you can all place your character directly in the map where the little worm pool is.
oh my god. Where are we spawning again?
In the little worm pool, you can see Archeon there is the only red token.
Voice in our ears, but the more we raise the sound of its call.
Oh, there.
We'll thunder and feast on any man, any beast, doesn't matter. We'll snack on them all.
He's back.
Oh no.
Are dropped in our sacrifice too. They scream and they run, but that's part of the fun as the ogres are coming to get.
Oh, wie kommt da oben raus?
There you go, welcome back.
Wah.
I'm missing Arena, I think.
Voice in our ears, but the more we raise the sound of its
Oh, I guess Kid is AFK for.
thunder and feast on any man, any beast, doesn't matter.
Oh no, he's there. Okay. Alright.
I'm not allowed to do anything.
What do you mean you're not allowed to do anything?
Somebody went to go try. I feel almost the same. Yeah.
I didn't know, I didn't hear you saying you were going to the toilet.
Anyway.
As you reach directly near the entrance of the, of the pathway, you're gonna hear a sound. A terrible sound. You're gonna hear cleaver. You're gonna hear bones crunching. You're gonna hear directly flames. You're gonna hear many stew, people cheering, drinking, burping, eating. The only way to go up is from the tunnel. Look like a weird, strange portal going up.
Who wants to go first to greet the ogres? Because I guess this terrible song can only come from them. No one?
Well, you already know my track record. Communicating.
Quite a terrible one as well, yeah. Well, then I will go, but stay close. I have the feeling those guys understand more the word of fight than the word of reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, shall we?
Guess we can try.
Alright then. Me and the panda go first.
As you all climb up, you immediately gonna see that circular room where two guards are looking directly at the whirlpool strangely. Seeing you emerge, at first they on guard and older weapons looking at you, drooling.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a warm welcoming. So, you two are guards of the Ogre Kingdom, aren't you?
Yeah. Did you order food? Why food came out from there? The other one's gonna look at him. I don't remember food, but I can eat probably some of them.
Well, we aren't the food, but we bring you and your kingdom rich offer to hunt and getting food in amounts beyond your imagination.
Ugh. Why she's using big words, my head hurt.
Okay, easier for you two. Let us speak to your king, and you will eat for an entire month without stopping.
Roll a persuasion.
22. Oh wait, no, what? Why it's not roll? Oh, 21. Okay.
Okay. But if you lie, I'm the one eating you.
You can certainly try then. I wave the others. Follow me.
As you reach here, you gotta send another guard to try to stop him, but the moment he tries to open his mouth, the first one's gonna punch him in the face and push him on the side.
Almost reminds me of my old life.
Strangely, a lot of delicious smell came from the place. But from the ingredients you can see right and left of human legs, humanoid arms, art, boiling green stew with literally people face melting in it. You can pretty much guess what's happening, you know?
Well, I
My
correct
kind of
myself.
place.
It is quite like my old menu life mixed together. Just a little bit more culinary.
There's definitely a lot of different smells here.
Be happy you don't see it.
Oh?
As you reach, you can see an ogre. Actually, I didn't size him right.
He's not large, he's huge, right?
Yep. Way bigger than the rest. You can see his splendid belly overflowing over the chair he sat down. Clearly, this mountain was not ogre made at his base. But because the ogre managed to conquer it, they decided that was to be their kingdom. The king is sitting there, multiple jewels attached to multiple chains around his neck. A white beard, golden tooth, and fangs mix up in his bout. You can see a large white beard as he's plundering directly and look at you with the ogre who brought you in. More food, I see.
I step forwards. Not foods, my king. But I bring you a message of what could be a large festival of food, blood, and war for you and your kingdom.
He's gonna bend over, his face nearly the size of your full body. And what would it be?
In the swamp, not too far from here, when you use your connections, your ways in the Underdark, there is a war going on between the Scalies and something you might have not seen often yet. Creatures with red skin and horns. They call themselves devils. These two are fighting each other for a long time now. And it would be quite the opportunity for you and your kind to pick these red-skinned devils and attack them as long as they are the weakest. They are a quite large number. I have seen many from one point of the horizon to the other. They're swarming the swamp. It would be a festival for you and your kind.
But why would I trust you? You're not eating people like us. You're not cannibals. I have no reason to trust your word. You do not believe in eating the flesh.
If I would prove you otherwise, would you listen?
If you want to prove it to me, you have to defeat one ogre in a feasting competition.
Feasting competition? Well, you ogres are quite large. I, myself, would not be able to compete. I'm way small, I cannot eat as much. But I have certainly a champion in mind who can eat as much. And when he proves you that we are of the same mind as your people, you will listen.
Yeah, if I'm not too hungry. But for now, go eat or be eaten. I will not listen until you have proven you part of the Maw.
Good. I will call my champion. And then we will eat. I go back to the group. Arena!
Huh?
Your elks have a good appetite. And I saw you in special being very hungry in times. You will be my champion. But with a little extra. Kala, I think we should even the playfields. A big stomach can take my food. And large arena. This will be a festival.
Oh, please.
I turn,
Oh boy.
I turn around, go back to the Ogre King. So, where's the feast?
To the ceremonial kitchen. Brought them there. And you may maw and chew and chomp all you want until one of you pass out.
So
The
shall
winner can eat the loser.
So shall it be.
So the ogre is gonna. I'm just gonna move you all to just walking out.
Mm,
Why do I see Catchy being like, why does Sister echo so much now?
Joke's on you. I haven't eaten forever.
What I hope for.
Yeah.
Well, one of your food sources was not there.
Exactly. When he died, in a sense, she stopped eating for a while.
Oh, we have quite the audience.
I think I'm gonna stay in the corner over here because I don't like hearing too many people slurp, and you know my ears in America.
I give you a piece of cloth. Put it around you guys.
Thank you.
So they're gonna bring you at the dinner table, Alrina. They're gonna put you a little scarf. At first would look like actually, a good thing You'd say that. That was the house of the lobster.
Red human.
Well, when the food gets played, I want to do a little something before Arena starts eating.
Okay. You can see many ogres has come to see directly the feast, expecting Alrina to die. Not knowing Alrina is really actually a half cyclop.
I go with my hands a little bit over the food that's placed on Arena's side. Like I
The
want
food
to.
is not. The food is not brought up yet.
Okay. Sorry.
Give me a second.
Yeah, sure. Sorry that I'm a little bit hasty today.
They really want to see Elrena be bloody and sticky. No fun.
So how much did I miss, by the way?
Nothing. We just ventured back to the witch, the hexory. Gave her the hearts. She was clinching with her teeth because she was expecting us not to return, or at least suffering from grievous wounds and stuff.
Ah, Cersei, right?
She gave us a map against her will, basically, to find the pathways through the underground to get here in less than a week. But we
Nice.
had a good time. This session we had a good travel of 8 days in total already.
Hmm.
Oh, the first plate of food would be a large humanoid shield, reversed, holding a plate full of intestine cooked directly inside their own bellies, with multiple shrimp added on it, and a couple of human hands directly roasted over fire with a barbecue sauce. They would drop directly on Arena side and on the other ogre side.
He's just gonna blankly stare and start drooling intensively. Eyes just widen up.
Go get him, sis!
I go with my hand over the plate like I want to expect the food. And I want to use prestation on it to flavor it up so it tastes like a 5-star exclusive meal.
It is already a 5-star exclusive meal if you're a cannibal.
I mean, then nothing much changes, I guess. But for Arena, it tastes now like it would be the absolute delicious thing she ever ate, basically.
Wouldn't that be
When-
by default?
When the shaman makes food, finally.
Well then, let's see. When I step back.
Let me look something real quick.
I hate my director for giving us food, or for giving us snacks. He gave us Easter snacks.
Ugh. That's the one thing I never want.
Well, chocolate and everything.
I know, but ugh. I never liked the Easter candy.
First roll is a Constitution check, not saving throw. So you just click at the little bottom under the Constitution, and you have advantage, Arena, so you can click it twice.
Wait, so I just click Constitution?
Mm.
Yep.
And not a saving throw.
Oh wait, I
Actually,
mean that
the
one.
normal constitution.
So you have 17. The ogre has 16. So on the side of the ogre, you just gotta see him grab directly the shield and open his open gap maw and absorb every single thing inside as he make it slip out directly in his mouth. Arena, how you do this?
Almost the same, but like Pac-Man.
You eat the shield to get the wizard. Not entirely.
You gotta hear the ogre around you cheering, moving their belly in the same time. Hitting each other's belly. Even one slapped the back of the Kara directly. Second plate of food would be covered directly of kidneys of strange creature and a full lizard man on top of it.
Delicious.
Arena, roll Constitution. With advantage, you have a 20.
Ooh.
Ogre has 15. You're gonna see first the ogre's gonna focus on eating all the kidneys around glazed, as at the end he's gonna split it off directly the lizard man before siphoning everything inside like it would be with a lobster, and finally eating the lower part and after that the top part. Arena, how you do this?
Gonna stab the lizard and everything with my giant sword. Swallow it whole.
Like make a kebab out of everything?
Yes.
Kebab, let's go.
Lizard kebab.
Alright. Third plate of food. They gotta bring 2 ogres per person. Gonna bring you directly what would look like a shish kebab. Like a doner kind of thing. Automatically on a large brooch rotising. Though it is a full owlbear. Cooking on top of it. So you have 2 full owlbear rotising in front of Arena and in front of the other ogre. Alright, Arena, roll me a Constitution. Ooh, 12.
Big piece.
You're gonna see the ogre starting chopping directly and ripping what he can with his hands, trying to eat the most he can in his gap in his maw. He managed to finish it, but you can't see him slowing down right now. Arena, how do you do this?
Slowly smirk at him, just ripping the head off first, eating it complete. Inch by inch, swallowing the whole thing.
Jesus.
No gagging, nothing.
It's the fucking size of a bear.
Dislocate jaw. Easy win.
Alright, next plate of food. I got to be original, to be a cannibalistic motherfucker. 2 large how you call that? Cauldron. 2 large cauldron bowl directly are brought up. You can see many humanity that to lizard man, to minotaur, to human's hand, to elven head, floating directly inside of it. The 2 bowl are directly cauldron are brought out in front of both of you, taking most of the place on the table.
Dessert.
Just. Alright, roll Constitution, Alrina. $23!
Oh.
You're gonna see the ogre literally dip inside his head, inside the cauldron, drinking everything and grabbing the heads to eat them like apples after that. But right now, you see him like holding directly the side of the table, having difficulty to breathe because he's eating so much and he's sweating heavily. Arena, how you do this?
I hold it up like a mug and start chugging everything, leaving just the head. One by one, I split them in half and swallow completely.
And finally, the last plate of food. They gotta brought back a jelly cube that you probably guys know directly in D&D is known as the melting jelly cube. But the core of the jelly cube is gone, so it is a dead one. But inside that jelly cube, you can see multiple humanoids screaming and half melting in it. They're gonna brought directly a full plate in front of the half of the table and another full plate on half of the table on the ogre side. Roll Constitution. Oh my god, not 20.
A dream come true. Jelly!
So the ogre is gonna try to eat. He will reach half of the jelly cube before he will pass out directly from food commotion by eating too much. Arena, how you do this?
I'm gonna completely eat my own jelly and I'm gonna go steal the rest of his.
That 20 it's a terrorize. And last piece of food, the ogre is gonna grab the dead ogre who eat every single other piece whose belly is full of it, and put it in front of you for you to eat.
Just gonna rub my hands together and just go, finally, main course.
Roll a Constitution save on that one.
Constitution save?
This time
Save.
a saving throw, yes.
21. Yes. You do manage to eat everything on that table they brought, and even more by consuming the ogre who has consumed as equal as you in front of everybody. You're gonna hear all the ogre cheering, hitting directly Nekara in the back just by happiness, belly hitting other bellies as all are happy. One's gonna bring you a cape, and one's gonna bring you a gigantic belt. Directly on them, a ogre belt, who will add a +2 on your AC because it is a magical belt.
I just can see you can't see Elrina's face, you just see her red glowing.
They brought you they brought you a fucking barrel of ale.
Let's go.
Ah, I guess we won.
Weakling.
For a moment, you see all the ogres celebrating, grabbing plates of food and going around Arena to eat with her right beside her. Some of them are cheering still.
How much did you say it was on the AC? Because I'm gonna add it together.
+2.
It's a +2 for the AC of Valrina. It's a full belt with spikes coming out of it, with the design of the maw on it. and multiple spikes. So if Irina have the fancy of it and manage to grapple somebody, she can make injuries on that person just by holding them, because of the spike of the belt.
Just looks at the rest of the group and just waves them over. Come on, the food is great.
Well, I wouldn't say no to some blood ale to eat. To drink and eat for this.
Yes.
Alrina, can you fetch me something that's good? Since I can't see.
Just grabs anything off the table, hands it over.
Thanks.
Sadly, all the blood's already boiled and cooked out of the meat.
Oh yeah, there's more ogre coming and bringing more and more food directly on the place.
I punch one of them in the side. Hey, do you guys have blood ale?
They bring you directly in a stew. It's gonna be another cauldron, but full of blood, and you can see directly hearts just boiling inside of it. There's probably other stuff mixed in it, but so far it's probably the most bloody thing you ever saw.
Well, time to try out some new stuff. I will try it.
Donut, do you eat anything in this place?
No.
Lucy,
Ah. But
do you eat anything in this place?
I'm just looking at the food.
The most sweet thing you could see is probably what they use as jelly, or like melting slime.
She will not eat dinner tonight.
I put my hand into the cauldron so it's full of red blood, and then reach up to Arena and make a basically like a war painting on the face as the winner.
You gotta be climbing.
Oh, I have to.
I'm happily eating a little bit of everything.
As the party go out all night, multiple ogre will hit on Alrina if they can, saying Alrina has one of the greatest female they could ever mate with it if they could.
No.
I don't like where this is going.
But sadly, Alrina refuses every single advance of the ogre. The party go on all night, and you all wake up, all pass out, and still confused on what happened exactly, except for those who did drink. But multiple ogre pass out, snoring, burping, and farting around.
I guess I don't have to smell. So we wake up, yeah?
Yes.
I would say I just passed out here in the chair back here.
Hmm. I'm gonna take all the hearts to go. As rations.
I reach up with my head. Speak up, who is not eaten yet?
Not
I want
eating.
to live.
I'm still alive.
Okay. Oh, what a night. Didn't I celebrate like this in 20 years, I guess.
Oh, at least we showed them how powerful an elk is.
Well, your kind made itself all honors this night. I was impressed myself.
Yeah, that's sis. She looks to Elrina to see if she's awake.
There's a death stare still.
Ready to eat more.
Oh yeah, it's a thought. How would my sister taste?
No.
I go over to Arkin. Look
Yeah,
for-
he's still awake and was still worried, so he was holding his sword and holding and protecting Lucy and everybody who did want to participate in the celebration.
I look to him. So, I guess we made ourselves in some respect.
Hmm. Probably better to go talk to the Ogre King.
Oh, sure it is.
They have a short time memory. I don't want to risk it.
True. Well, then everyone buckle up. We
No,
have a
who
meeting.
left?
Done it.
Oh, okay. Or you can just drag the tokens or let the king place.
Okay. Brrp. Dip. So, Limmy and Spender? Okay. So, a new day, and we're still uneaten.
I still have my wings. I haven't been turned into a shish kebab, so yeah, I think we're all alive.
Shish kebab. Oh.
I would not taste well, sister.
Well then, dear king. We had this festival and battle of feasting, and we're still here, untouched.
I saw everything. And I don't want to talk with you.
Then
He's gonna
You
push
saw-
you with his staff a little bit away. I want to talk with her.
why not? Even so, touching me with a gun. I'm
What?
back. The downside of the narrative. Sure.
You remember me when I was younger. Tell me. What is your secret to eat so much?
No secret. Just love food.
Your friend. I promised more food in the swamp. What kind of food?
Good food.
What you said?
Good food.
Good food. Hmm. And what color for that food? What we looking for? Where's the food?
Color red.
Hmm. You can roll a persuasion with advantage.
Where the fuck did I press that again?
It's in the skill.
Moody, can you help me? I'm dumb.
Yeah, sure. Hold up. When you look under all the saving throws, you have it. And it's like it has a free.
No.
Yay.
15. Very well. The Ogre Kingdom shall eat all the food in the swamp. You are free to go. You can leave by the main gate. No ogre shall eat you and shall respect the champion of the feasting.
Before we go, if you ate friends, they would be terrible taste.
If you eat what?
If you ate Elrena's friends, they would taste
Okay.
bad.
Mmm. Debatable, but I will respect it for now. You may leave. We shall prepare the feast and hunt for more food.
Yes.
I have one last question.
Yes. Yes.
If we should shall return one day and give you the message of another big feast, will you hear the calling?
She will need to win another feasting.
I see. Good, that's all I wanted to know.
You may leave before my appetite change my mind.
And if it does, let's get out of here.
As you pass Alrina, you're gonna see every single ogre cheering for you and like hitting you in the back and just moving their belly in your direction.
Just gonna take the belt off for a second and just hold it up like a champ. Flex it.
I bet one of these are looking at your butt, sister.
Nah, they look at the other thing.
Yeah.
Intimidated.
As you go out of the ogre kingdom, you can realize outside why it's so dangerous to pass through the main gate. Because every place is like a sulfuric area. You will have sulfur right and left, letting an awful smell of rotten egg around you right now. For the ogre, that could smell something like appetizing, but for you, smell like pure fort with somebody who ate a bag egg sandwich.
Oh, kinda steamy out here. Let's make our way through this clouds.
I jump on the man's shoulders again.
Where is the exit of the map? Where we have to venture?
Well, after a while just walking, you can return directly into the swamp. After a night, you directly decide to camp again.
Oh. That was an adventuring 2 days. I wasn't aware that Arena had a black hole inside her stomach.
You'd be surprised what happens for days.
I'm surprised indeed. More and more I found out about your species.
Only me, not Sis. Sis weak.
Yeah. Not the best at eating like she is.
At least the ground is not constantly rumbling anymore. It was kinda irritating hearing the voices and the footsteps of these ogres all around me and feeling it in the ground. If I would have been blind like Kachi, I would have been lost there.
Hey, as a blind shit, I can tell you that you learn to listen, and you learn to listen well.
Since I ate the heart of this purple worm, I'm able to feel up in the ground. Movement shaking around me. But the entire dungeon was rumbling by the voices. It moved every inch of stone there. Well, if you don't mind, I will set up my Tentra's tiny hut so we all have a smooth night, and then I will perform my ritual.
I'll probably keep watch the first night, like usual.
And then you will join me. Company. That's good. So, setting that up. And then move again over here to perform a ritual with the book. Laying out the dragon bones, the dragon heart, and some of the blood samples.
Roll an Arcana. Let's see how efficient it is. Ooh, pretty efficient. Yeah, you managed to finish the book. Since I know you're already working on it since last session.
Namara is picking up the book from the ground, or basically since it floats a little bit in midair, and open it and in the movement of opening, black smoke is emerging from it, while the bone that is basically on the front cover of the book is looking like the head bone, like the skull of the dragon. This book will do well in the future, I hope. Now I just need to find more spells to put in. With this, I will walk around the camp and doing my night shift duty.
Catchy
Okay.
is gonna stay where she is, but just listening around.
Anybody else want to do anything else during the night?
Carla's just eating some of the meat she grabbed from the feast. That's her night.
So, anybody else doing anything else before the night?
Not for Catchy.
Nope, I did already what I wanted to do.
So I'm gonna make a general roll to see how your travel back to Blackscale will go. Since your mission is accomplished, unless you want to stop somewhere else in your pathway.
Not needed for me.
Catchy is going to ask the big guy on the way back if if the other ones like her are nearby. The place that she was barren over. Epix?
Yeah, sorry, I was somebody was talking to me.
Did you hear what I said?
No, somebody was talking to me. What was it?
Catchy is going to when they're back in the swamp area, she's gonna ask the big guy if he knows if the other my fucking brain, the other bad elks are in that area. That
You
they're
mean this
walking in.
one?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I came from the north, real far north, away from the swamp. I don't know your kind, blind one.
Fair.
The north of this continent or another one?
What was that? Sorry. I was coughing.
I turn around to Archeon. The north of this continent or another one?
Of this continent.
I see.
Any question more? No? Very
Not for
well.
me.
He's going in the corner of the tent and lay down.
Lucy's typing. Well, as you can see, not all, well, problems need to be solved with violence. We did this really smooth. I was actually suspecting worse from the Ogre Kingdom. But when you understand their goal, they're easy to control.
Well, if you didn't have that big one with that single eye, I can guarantee you it would have probably gone different.
Oh, sure. But I know this group now for over months, maybe 2 already. I lost a little bit track of time. And I know how to play my cards. That's what I had to do all the time back in my home. Because I'm not the strongest of the vampires. I'm actually, well, a newborn, if you want to see it like this. And when we measure time with it. So, knowing my cards and how to play them is the way to survive even among my own kind. And that's what I hope to try to achieve one day. To become a true vampire. And put out the rules of the game myself.
Interesting. Well, no, go for it.
I lift my hands and look at the claws with the golden scales on it. But sometimes fate seems to play different, even uncontrollable by my ways. It could be that I end up not being a vampire at the end anymore, but this will only time will tell.
Nature is chaotic, but it is the true course of nature. And if you believe in chaos, you get stronger for it.
At the end, nature finds a way. That's what I can agree on. So chaos will
Alright.
find a way.
Alright, Jeff Goldblum.
Well, so chaos will also find a way.
Any more question?
Not from me.
I think we should all sleep. We deserve some.
I sit down close to the fire and keep on putting wood into it so it doesn't extinguish overnight.
I'm gonna make a couple rolls. Give me a moment. Unless somebody want to do something else, it's the moment. Alright, I need Nakara, Limi, Arena, and Catchy to do me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Ow!
Ouch.
Namara, Catchy, as you both sleeping, at some point you're gonna feel a little
I don't sleep.
thing. Yeah, well, don't need to sleep neither. You're gonna feel a little sting, and by instinctively you're gonna slap directly on your body what would look like a mosquito.
Little shits. I look around. If there's more of those mosquitoes.
Roll me a perception check.
Oh. 11.
You do not see mosquitoes. Catchy, when you slap yours, do you do anything else, or?
She would probably listen around to hear if there's more of the.
Roll me a perception check. Yeah, with a 10, you won't detect any.
Oh.
But you both gonna realize soon there's more and more mosquitoes, more and more blood fly around you two.
Wait. I look at the slap dead mosquito.
Mm-hmm.
Have I seen them before in the swamp?
You did.
Uh-oh. Kachi,
Yeah?
can you remember when we jumped into the swamp that there were mosquitoes all around? And our dwarven friend told us to not harm them.
Yeah, I remember that. We might have to get out of here then.
These are the exact same mosquitoes. So
We should.
this apex predator seems to be around. We should move.
Yep.
I jump up and alert the others. Hey! Wake up, guys!
Mm-hmm. What is it?
We might have a big problem approaching. In the swamp is an apex predator present that uses blood flies to track down his prey. And those blood flies were around the camp.
One second. What do we do?
This apex predator is a very dangerous beast. I cannot tell if it's worse than a dragon. I don't believe so. But we got told to try to hide from it. It can only track down via these blood flies and on sight. So either we have to hide very, very well, or we try to get out of here when we don't want to fight it.
I'm gonna hide as a bush. This tree thing.
Okay.
I would suggest we get out of here. If that's really good hearing. Or something. I don't know.
It's an aberration.
I'm fine.
So we
You were
would.
saying?
It's an aberration. We would do the swamp a great favor if we destroy it. But it's up to y'all. Do we want to fight it? I believe we have a chance when we can even take on a dragon. Or do we want to try to get out of here? I'm fine with both.
If we fight it, we should pick another playing ground.
Bro. But we have still now time to prepare before it reaches us. So, I want to hear a call. Fight or stay. If fight or leave, I mean, bloop.
Catchy looks a bit up in the sky. Well, if we get it beaten, that's one less thing to worry about for my kin, who also lives in the swamp. So
I pick
I'm
my
down.
hat from the bush. We can take it. We've done a dragon. As I go back to being in the bush. That's why.
We killed a dragon. Unfortunately, how much damage did we take trying to slay even an infant?
The fight against the big dragon was way smoother than getting the small one.
Maybe because we were more prepared. This, as you said, is an apex predator.
Yeah, but I believe it's weaker than the dragon.
Are you sure?
Because a dragon is a legendary mighty beast. This thing is a creation if it's best. And it would have hunted a dragon if it could.
It hunts. Yes, but who knows? I will be in between. If you wish to fight it, I'll fight it. If you wish to run, I will follow.
Arkan, what do you say?
For the dragon, when we fight him, we did add many more potions that we use, and we knew his position. Here, in the dark, that creature has the advantage right now. And if you say those blood fly make them track you, he has all the card on his hands.
True. Well then. I look around. We are on a draw. Well. Let me look at my... We have to take this between us and the bloodflies. We try to find a better battleground than this one. But still remember, in the dark, it has the advantage. It could still pin us down when we move away from the light. But we should really try to find another place where we can lay an ambush if it still tries to hunt us down.
That's good.
You're gonna see Archean suddenly getting up, all stress, holding his weapon and looking directly in the direction of the darkness. In that direction. Wait, did I? Oh no, I played the wrong track, sorry, give me a moment. God damn, where's my track? Oh no, did he? Fuck's sake. Give me a moment. I think he played a full 15 tracks, not the fucking one I wanted. I'm so sorry. I didn't want
It's
to.
fine.
Is there a way to clear the queue? Let me look.
Yep, it's
Plus
literally
clear.
just clear. Yeah, plus
Okay.
clear.
Did that do it good?
Yeah, I think it's a bit behind at the moment. Try and play the one you wanted.
Give me a moment. Just had to skip. It didn't clear at all. It's... Oh, okay. That's that one. Yeah, you all gonna see Archeon up with his sword and placing in front. Already in position of fighting. Looking into darkness up front.
I look. Talking. Okay, guys, battle ready. Running is not an option anymore.
Gotcha.
It's not moving. It's thinking.
I don't know if we are faster than it, so. Kachi, take distance so you can shoot it from afar. Arena,
Gotcha.
Arkin, you two up front.
By the way, you do not see the creature. It's completely invisible. You get to think a little bit like the Predator. And that's sicken you right away. Because you can see multiple souls of humanoid like fused together, but multiple elks also screaming and begging for help, but stuck inside that gigantic pile of bloody mass holding all them in one piece, using them and their abilities.
Ooh. Well, shit.
I don't think we can win this fight. I'm gonna hold him off. There's no other option.
I have one idea. I cast a spell. Wall of Fire. And it goes basically down. Draw shape, draw shape. Line, I guess. Wait. Freehand.
It's kinda useless the car anyway because that thing can cast counterspell.
If it wants to do it.
Yeah.
So I want to cast out fire to put it between us. And the wall is basically just extinguishing again, right?
Yes, you're gonna see the wall rising in flame as you all there, but automatically you're gonna see the wall, the magic getting nullified, and you're gonna hear a terrifying roar of multiple creatures begging for help at the same time. You're gonna see Archeon charging in the darkness, and you just gotta hear the creatures screaming in the same time as you hear Archeon screaming all of you to run away.
Grab. Here. Say, this creatures we saw at the very beginning of our campaign. This gigantic, bats. Are they considered beasts?
They consider abomination. Oh, you mean a bat thing?
The
Oh no,
the-
it's considered undead.
Alright, fuck, okay. Well, I take... Can I polymorph into something big and flyable?
Tell me something big and flyable you saw. Probably, since you're the north, you can probably do a giant eagle, but you'd be able to only like 2 people, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I actually want to do. I take... I cast polymorph on myself into a giant eagle, and grab Lear and Torin and make a fly for it.
Okay. You said Leah and Torin?
Yep. Because I know for a fact that a monk can run fast. Arena is too heavy. Probably the panda as well. And Kachi can fly. And Carla was a little bit too far away for me to choose.
If I may, you can hear me well. I will cast and bless on before running.
Well, I grabbed you. You're basically in the claws of a giant eagle right now. Do you want to cast it on Archeon?
Yeah, Archeon.
Alright. Lucy, or do you try to escape?
I am going to run. Literally just to run. There is no other thing about it.
Okay.
So I'm literally just gonna be like... fuck this. And poof.
I'm guessing Donut's gonna run too. Arena, you're gonna run too. Catchy, what do you do?
I'm waiting till I've seen everybody else run.
They're pretty much all done except Carlo decided to stay in the bush.
Wait, so Kala, you're not moving.
Carla?
Alright. Well then, Catchy's gonna grin or not grin, grit her teeth looking over at that, but then starting to fly her.
You cannot see it in the dark. Archeon could see it, not because he has night vision, but because he has abyssal vision. Because yes, the darkness on that creature is not natural. Alright, I want everybody to roll me a d20.
Why the fuck am I not in... Oops. I vanished by accident from the site. 2020.
Alright, Lucy, I want you to roll me a stealth.
Oh boy.
You can roll with advantage.
18.
Lucy, you gotta run through the swamp, water, branches hitting you in the face. You jump over a dead tree on the side, and you hide directly under that dead tree to retake your breath for a second. After a few minutes regaining back your breath, you think the swamp is silent. A little bit too silent. As you think moving forward to keep running, you're gonna hear directly on you the weight of something really heavy. You gotta put both hands over your mouth for a moment as a drip of long blood fall into your shoulder. As you look up, you can see the creature looking in every direction, trying to trace you. You gotta see deep down, near his heart, the sword of Archeon in there. There's no trace of maybe Archeon is still alive or dead, but you can clearly see that Archeon managed to land a powerful blow on the creature. But so far, you understand that even if Archeon contained that, it is risky to face that creature. Right now the creature looks right and left, sniffing over you. And slowly, jump in front of you, as you see all the back exposed of the creature, and start running in one other direction. You manage to hide from it.
I live.
Alright, everybody, except Lucy, can roll me another d20.
Oh boy.
Alright, Taran, you can roll me oh, it's called again. A stealth with advantage.
Well, this fucker's flying with me.
Not a D100.
I thought you were doing the travel thing again.
Nope.
Stealth, you said?
Stealth with advantage.
Oh, thank God it's advantage.
$19. So, because you're flying in the air directly with Namara, on the spot, you would be pretty much hiding pretty good. But on your way, you're gonna receive something in your face that you're gonna instinctively like try to swipe out, and the moment you do, you realize it is a blood fly.
Fuck.
The moment you swipe it out, you're gonna hear a powerful roar directly from the forest and the swamp, and you're gonna see multiple bent branches, trees falling down in your direction. The ground is probably shaking and you can see vibration of water. Something jump from the swamp, and you're gonna feel barely a graze directly on the top of your feet as you're flying off. That thing has jumped and nearly grabbed your leg.
The eagle is screeching and tries to gain altitude.
Alright, one last one. Everybody roll me a D20.
Oh, come on.
That thing likes you.
Yeah.
Well, since Lucy and Turan has been passed, Mooney!
Oh fuck.
Roll me a stealth with advantage. Oh yeah, you're fucking invisible, you goddamn bat. So, as everybody is flying off, you did manage to see Lucy hiding directly from the creature. At some point you lost the creature of view, but you saw her directly jumping in the air for a moment. You tried to reposition yourself directly on the branch tree later on, as a bad position, as you try to locate your friends and try to guide them to reassemble. As you land directly on that branch and look around, you gotta feel a pure pressure directly on that branch. As you holding down like a bat directly on the top of that branch, the creature is there looking and smelling. You can feel the blood falling down from his goopy body, slowing down on the branch and directly on your body, falling up your leg. You don't really understand that creature, but what you see directly with the smoke you took, you understand that's the thing other elk warn you about. That's the thing who's been created specifically to hunt elk and feed from them, stealing their abilities.
Noted.
The smell is rotting. You can feel it. That thing is constantly bleeding for no reason and looking for substance, using those fly around you to try to detect something as the fly bites you and drain your blood. But you're smarter than that, than hitting the flies. You gotta see the creature smelling around, and you gotta hear far away Archeon roaring and screaming to challenge the creature once more as this one turn around and charge directly in that direction. Most of the night will be spent by hearing the creature roaring and Archeon trying to attract the beast, hitting his armor on every branch and trees he can, far away from you guys. As you reassemble in the morning, finally far away from that creature for the night, in another location that you know, where you have managed to run for multiple nights and assemble directly at this little camp where you did pick up Archeon before. He's not there, but there you go.
I let go of Lear and Torin, and in the drop I change back into Namara and land in the grass. That was anything but pleasant.
Catchy goes over and punches the tree. That thing is not normal.
It is a crafted creature, unnatural.
Yeah, you want to know what it's crafted of?
Elks.
Exactly.
Maybe not this day. But if it got Archeon, I will come back and bury it.
I'll join you on that. I gotta kill this thing. The more stays alive, the more threat to my species it is.
It's a threat to everyone that tries to traverse the swamp, but I guess for now we are out of his hunting territory. When we want to get this thing head on, we need to come back another day, well prepared. I at least can still remember a lot of the things your Draven Ranger colleague told us. I'm pretty sure it's not as strong as a dragon, but it has its own methods. That make
Well,
it
not
dangerous.
being able to see it is definitely one of its methods.
We have to find a counter for invisibility. I look up in the sky. How late is it?
I would say it's at this point with all the running and escaping. I would say it's nearly 4 a.m.
Mm. We might be in safety now, but in my opinion, there's no way of thinking about sleep again.
Yeah.
I would
No.
traverse further, but it's up to you guys. You guys need sleep. I don't.
To be honest, I don't feel like sleeping after that encounter.
Good. If nobody's against it, we march through the night. I'm done with this place.
Knocks on the door to Lucy.
There was no door there, remember? Archeon
Oh yeah,
shoved straight
forgot there was no door. You
I
coming?
met the door very personal.
through. You had a nice greeting with it. Made out with it, maybe once.
Rigorous calls. Nothing special, that's what I mean.
Is there anything within the house?
Roll me an investigation.
19.
You're gonna find two things. One thing would be a map showing you directly on this continent where the Chaos faction is, where Archeon came from. A large camp in the branch of the Fang of the Gods, it's called. And the other thing is a medallion glowing red. And in the back of that medallion would say the life of the champion will always shine.
I will proceed to take both items.
Okay.
And then leave the house.
As you leave and go back directly to River Run, you will be able to reach your destination with 1 point of exhaustion for all of you. You will find the boatmen waiting for you at the river, bringing you all back surprised that you have all managed. And you reach directly by guiding on the secret underway in the middle of the court. Directly all of your character. I'm just gonna move you guys directly where you emerge. There you go. And this is gonna be the end of session for today.